I, honest to God, was at UFC 1 at Mammoth in Denver. And this is 1993. Went with my buddy Jay Troy,
Wow.
and the building was half full. And I remember when Ken Shamrock came walking out for the first time. Nobody had ever heard of him yet. I mean, if you're in Japan and you're a hardcore fan.
You have. Yeah.
Otherwise, I didn't know who he was. But when he came walking out, I'm like, wow, that guy looks the part, right? Dude, when Royce came walking out, you're like, who is the skinny, balding dude in the gi, right? Now, Hickson would have made a different impression because that guy
Hickson does look the part. He
looked like the Brazilian version of Ken Shamrock. And
yes, he does. That's interesting because you know what? In all of that, like in Rio, or then he looks like I'm on a surfboard every day out there. You know, it's just as different. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't even put all that together till you just told me.
Yeah, so you put Royce out there, and then he wins this whole thing. You're like, holy shit. This is the real deal, right? So, Mark, I never do this on the show, but now I have to ask just because it's a fun question. If you fought Royce in your prime and his prime, what would have happened?
Oh, you know, and I think I said this. I don't know if I said it directly to you. So we were inked on paper to fight in Pride 2.
Oh no, I didn't know this. No.
Yeah. So Pride, which was KRS back then, they got a hold of me. They said, okay, we're going to pay a gazillion dollars, to fight the best people in the world. The first person we want you to fight is Royce Gracie. So I go over to Japan and we do this press conference, all this stuff. And we were inked to fight. God, it would have been March of 1998.
Well, how do I never know this before? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's even crazier? I was digging through an old hard drive that I had, and I think I found the contract.
Wow.
That would be interesting. If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
I'd love to see
it. Absolutely. So, this topic has come up a couple of times. God, man, you know what? As a competitor, I'd like to think that I would have won. That I was so imposing physically that I would have been able to impose my will on him. But watching him fight Sakuraba and watching just how tough of a competitor he is, it would have been interesting because all it would take is one mistake from me, and that's it. It's game over.
Yeah, it's so hard to look back and say what would have happened. And I never thought about this question until we started talking. I don't think he would have been able to withstand the assault. You're right. If you gave him something, he would have taken it. No doubt.
Oh God, yeah, man. He's just so slick in being able to, like, if I've watched a ton of his stuff because there was always supposed to be this rematch, and back then it was like acquiring all of it, like VHS tape, like getting a VHS tape, and God, man, it's just it's one of the people that actually, as a competitor, I admired him just because of his grit, but more than his grit, he was just a technical genius, man. He could, he'd work, 4 minutes in a round to set up one thing at the very end of the round.
Oh yeah.
And when you would go back and watch the film, you would go like, oh shit, he's baiting him. And he baits him again, and he baits him again, and then he pulls it and he baits it. It's just these little things that you go like, when you're in the heat of the moment, to be able to have that composure to do that, that's a different kind of competitor.
He's playing high level chess. That's
sure. God, man, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just one of those things where, that whole he shattered the idea that you need to be 6'10" and 300 pounds, or you have to be, X, Y, or Z, or look apart. I mean, it's just really, he did a lot, I think, for the community of mixed martial arts to usher them into the 21st century.
The Gracies deserve all the credit for putting it, if not being the ultimate guys that put it on the map, making the largest contribution ever for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.